Pat McMahon here, and I want to introduce you to somebody. Yes, no, I know you already know him, but you're going to get to know Jon Bloom a whole lot better in the next few years. It's been 51 years you have been after this job, Jon, as the voice of the Phoenix Suns, and has it become a reality to you?
Not quite yet, although sitting here with you, Pat, brings it a little bit more real or closer to reality.
You're not going to get any more time on the interview sucking up. Like
well, I just know that I used to get invited pretty frequently, and then we went through a little bit of a drought from that, and now I'm hopeful that maybe this just opens that invitation. Maybe the door is cracked a little bit more.
Now that you're going to have more free time, is that it? The voice of the Phoenix Suns, does that still come as a shock to you?
It's not a shock. It is, boy, it's a sense of pride, a sense of devotion to something that I feel like I've, really worked for. And yet at the same time, hard to claim that title when it belongs to somebody so special to both of us and to everybody probably watching and whoever will watch this or anybody's connected to the team I work for, the Phoenix Suns. And of course, I'm talking about Al McCoy. So when you say the voice of the Suns, I think I am with most when I say that still is kind of a title that belongs to Al McCoy. However, I am going to fill that seat with such excitement and energy, and not a bad year to have the seat full time either. The team is pretty poised right now to compete, and I'm excited to watch them play.
We have so little time, Jon, and I want to find out exactly what it is that your deepest feelings are about following a legend, not just a guy that did it for a long, long time, but did it as well or better than anybody. So what's it like to follow Cronkite?
Well, I think he should have a school name for him, like Walter. Al, at some point, probably should have a broadcasting entire curriculum name for him and how he is operated, not just from a standpoint of longevity, which, of course, is what everybody goes to. Doing the same job for 51 years is amazing. I know you put that a little bit to shame. If we really track back on Pat McMahon, we know just how long he's been doing this. But Al has been not just doing play-by-play, but you talk about his career, and you and I have spoken about his jazz musicianship when he was even in college at Drake in Iowa, and then playing piano for great acts, and he could have probably been a professional pianist.
Recording quality jazz pianist.
Right, and that could have been his career. We would have never had this relationship that all of us have developed and been so fortunate to develop with a great man.
There's a lot of piano players around, Jon, but only one Al McCoy.
There is.
And only one who has those wonderful signature pieces of material. And I know in the last few months you've been asked this, but I haven't heard the answer yet. So do you have the equivalent of Shazam, or do you not need those?
I don't think I have the equivalent. I don't know if there is an equivalent. I mean, maybe some people who are big Hoops fans might think that Mike Breen and his bang is kind of like Shazam on a national level. But, Al and Shazam is kind of synonymous. The three-pointer, obviously, is where he uses that. I vary my calls on three-pointers, so there isn't a replacement for Shazam. I'm sorry if you were looking for one out there. But I kind of like to keep it fresh. I use influences that I listened to as a kid, and then I actually use stuff that I created when I was in college at Syracuse way back when, which is now 30 years ago. There's stuff I was using then that I just tried out, and I thought, all right, that'll stick. Like for a basket and a foul, it's the deuce and the damage. That's one of my go-tos, and it's been that since college. And nobody else has kind of picked up and run with it. I may have taken that the wrong way and thought, well, I'm going to go with it because it's good, but maybe if someone else stole it in this last 30 years, then I would have known it's good. We'll find out whether it's good or not.
Who's your favorite Sun of all time?
Kevin Johnson's the one who made me a Phoenix Suns fan. Okay, I grew up in the Bay Area. Both my parents went to Cal. He was Cal's point guard. I went to Cal basketball camp. I got to meet him, and I got to watch him just play at a level I had never seen in that uniform, because Cal wasn't known for great players at that point, at least in my life. And so when he got traded here as a rookie, in 1988, I was 13, and I became a Suns fan. And that might sound, a little weird for some people that you could become a fan over one person, but I think if you really watch basketball these days, a lot of fans are watching their favorite player more than their favorite team, and it becomes how they become a fan. This was me back then. What did I do? I became a Suns fan because I was going to school with all Warriors fans, and I had to wear the purple and orange with pride, and I did back then, and I still do now.
It all begins very, very soon for you. I wish you 51 years. And is it true that Ishbia is not in town, right? He's not watching? Okay. I'll tell you what, we've run out of time. I was going to ask you what you think of the new management, having gone through Colangelo and Sarver, and now the new guy, and now the new voice, Jon Bloom, the voice of the Phoenix Suns. We'll be back.